Most women are walking around in heels that are destroying their feet and they don't even know it. And the crazy part? There are heels out there that actually feel good to wear. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what those look like. And by the end of this, you'll never look at a basic stiletto the same way again. I've spent way too much time going down rabbit holes about footwear, and I keep coming back to one style that doesn't get nearly enough attention: high heel sandals. But not just any kind. I'm talking about mules specifically. And if you don't know what a mule is, don't worry, because by the time we're done here, you're going to understand why these things are basically the smartest shoe a woman can own right now. So let's get into it. Okay, first, let me paint a picture for you. You know that moment when you're getting ready to go out and you're staring at your shoe rack trying to figure out what goes with your outfit? You've got your sneakers on one side, your flat sandals on the other, and then somewhere in the back there's a pair of heels you bought 2 years ago and only wore once because they wrecked your feet after 20 minutes. Sound familiar? That's the problem most people have with heels. They either look amazing and feel terrible, or they feel okay but they look kind of boring. Nobody wants to settle for one or the other. You want both. And that's exactly where high heel mule sandals come in. A mule, just to be clear, is a shoe or sandal that has no back. No strap around the heel, no closed back, nothing. Your feet are just out there, open and free. And when you put a heel under that, it changes everything about how the shoe looks and feels. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Won't it fall off? How do you even walk in something with no back? And honestly, that's actually what most people assume, but it's the opposite of the truth. Because your foot naturally grips a mule as you walk, your toes do a little bit of work to keep the shoe in place, and that grip actually distributes your weight differently than a closed heel does. A lot of women say mule heels feel more stable, not less, once you get used to them. And the other thing that happens when the back is open, your foot can breathe. Anyone who's ever worn a closed pump for 6 hours straight knows the feeling I'm talking about. It gets hot, it gets uncomfortable, and by hour 3, your feet are just begging for air. With a mule sandal, that's not an issue. The open design keeps things cool, and that alone makes them so much more wearable for longer stretches. Let's talk about the look for a second, because honestly, this is where mule heels really show out. There's something about the silhouette they create that is just clean and effortless. When you're wearing a mule high heel sandal, the shape of your foot and leg looks longer because nothing is breaking up the line at the back of your ankle. It's a small thing visually, but it makes a really noticeable difference. Stylists have known this for years, which is why you see mules constantly on runways and in fashion editorial shoots. And the designs themselves, some of them are genuinely stunning. You've got thin straps across the toe in metallic gold or silver. You've got barely there clear PVC styles that look like your foot is floating. You've got woven leather ones that feel more casual, block heel versions that are sleek and modern, and then the full sculptural heels that look like actual art. This style of shoe has so much range. That word in the title, eye candy, I used it on purpose because that's genuinely what a lot of these sandals are. They're not just functional, they're the kind of thing that makes people stop and look at your feet, and you know a shoe is doing its job when someone notices it across the room. Now, let me talk about versatility for a minute, because I think this is one of the most underrated benefits of high-heel mule sandals. These shoes work in so many different situations that it's kind of wild. You can wear a strappy gold mule heel with a sundress and look completely put together for a daytime event. You can throw on a block heel mule with wide-leg trousers and a blazer for something more professional. You can wear a high, thin-heeled mule sandal with a miniskirt or slip dress for a night out and look like you actually tried without trying that hard. That's the thing about mules specifically. Because they're open, they always have this casual confidence to them. They never look like you're trying too hard. They just look like you know what you're doing. And because they slip on and off easily, they're also just more practical in day-to-day life. You're not fighting with buckles or zippers or laces. You step in, your foot settles, and you're ready to go. That ease of wear is something people underestimate until they experience it. Let me also just say something about heel height for a second, because not all mule heels are the same, and that matters depending on what you're looking for. If you're new to heels or you just want something you can actually walk around in all day without suffering, a block heel mule is your best friend. The wider base gives you more surface area to stand on, which means way more stability. You can walk on cobblestones, you can walk on grass at a garden party, and you're not going to be wobbling around like you're on stilts. If you want something a little dressier and you're comfortable in heels, a stiletto mule sandal is where things get really elegant. It's a thin heel creating this sleek, delicate look that pairs perfectly with anything more formal. It's a shoe that has a presence to it. You walk into a room in a stiletto mule and people notice. And then there's the kitten heel mule, which is kind of the sweet spot if you want the elevated look without going too high. It's a small heel, usually under 2 inches, but it still gives you that lift and that length that makes a difference in how an outfit comes together.
One thing I want to address is the whole idea of comfort versus style, because I think people assume you always have to choose. And with a lot of shoes, that's true, but the design of a high heel mule sandal actually has some built-in advantages. First, the open back means your foot isn't being compressed from behind, which is one of the main sources of pain in closed heels. Second, the sandal format means there's usually less material overall, so there are fewer pressure points and less rubbing. Third, a well-made mule with a padded footbed can honestly feel better than most flats I've worn. The key is the quality of the shoe. A cheap pair made with hard plastic and no cushioning is going to hurt no matter what style it is. But when you invest in a pair that has a proper insole, quality materials, and a heel that's actually well constructed, the comfort level goes way up. And you'll wear them more, which means the cost per wear becomes totally worth it. I also want to talk about how these sandals photograph, because if you're someone who cares about pictures on social media or just wants to document your style, mule heels are incredibly photogenic. The open back gives every photo this editorial quality. You're sitting with your legs crossed and one heel pops off slightly, that's a shot. You're walking on a cobblestone street and someone captures it from behind. The silhouette is perfect every single time. There's a reason so many fashion influencers and stylists reach for this style of shoe when they're putting together a look they want to capture. It just works on camera in a way that's hard to explain but easy to see once you notice it. If you've never tried high-heel mule sandals before, I really think you should give them a chance. Start with a block heel in a neutral color, something beige, white, or black, and just see how you feel in them. Wear them around the house first, get used to the open back, let your foot figure out how to move in them naturally. Most people are surprised by how quickly they feel comfortable. And if you already love mules, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know that feeling of slipping into them and just feeling like everything about your look came together. Watch the next video to see which specific styles I think are worth every penny right now.